So here's actually a pretty interesting story. So you guys probably remember the story of Bernie Sanders basically going off on a reporter because he was trying to solve the Rona virus stuff and the basically crisis that's going on with it. And he was talking about that, and the reporter asks him a question about him staying in the presidential race, and he gets really angry, says the F word, says a boo boo, says a bad word. Now, he did a similar thing this time, saying that this comes from a report from a CNN reporter saying, when asked to explain how his absence from the Senate was consistent with his efforts to address the crisis, Sanders accused the reporter of standing too close to him. Stay away from me. There's CDC requirement. Please follow it. So Bernie Sanders out here checking reporters, and obviously this is a really important thing for Bernie Sanders, guys. He's in like one of the highest risk groups for this. Because he's very old, obviously, vast majority of deaths are coming from older folks, and who knows what the permanent damage, lung damage is going to be from people who contract Rona. But he's also had that recent myocardial infarction in which they went in put in stents. So he's in a high risk group for this, and so it's very important for him to do this. Very important, especially when you got Rand Paul's going around in the Senate lunchroom and the Senate gym and the Senate pool and all this stuff, spreading it. So he's got to be really careful. So I'm glad that Bernie Sanders is taking these precautions because he's like the highest risk because he's so old and he has pre-existing conditions. He apparently also has hypothyroidism. I had no idea about that until I read that doctor's note that put in like all of his previous conditions that he's taken medications for and stuff like that. He's on statins, which like the whole freaking population over the age of like 40s on statins. Some people even in their 30s. A lot of them, I would say, a lot of people in their 30s on statins. So once again, Bernie Sanders really checking these reporters out here. But yeah, there is CDC requirement. It's a not a requirement, but it's a strong urgency to keep 6 feet away from people to basically prevent the spread. But Bernie Sanders is the biggest person to protect in this scenario. So Bernie really checking a reporter out here.